Hi, thanks for joining me. So we're doing another Dreamcast pickups video with gameplay here today. For starters, we have a racing game, Power Jet Racing 2001. So here is a jet ski racer on the Dreamcast. This is by CRI. It's a company that I don't have much familiarity with, but a quick search on GameFAQs shows that they have worked on other Sega systems, done seems like some early Sega ports, and they worked on the Aero Dancing series on the Dreamcast. Now, previous to this game, there was another seems like a jet ski style racer that they did, which I haven't played yet. I will probably play it in my my US Dreamcast collection videos, but that was released, it seems like, in North America and Europe. This one was not, however, and you know, I don't know much about it other than the little bit of it that I played. It seems pretty fun. I feel like I am spoiled by the Dead or Alive Extreme series, which does have really good jet ski racing, and I think it's definitely better than this. But you know, if you don't have a whole lot else to compare it to, this seems completely competent in terms of the graphics and the racing and the music. It's kind of an arcade-style feel to it, and it seems pretty decent. There's a couple modes. You can play two-player, there's time attack and things like that, so this seems like you could do a lot worse for a little racing game. Next up from Able is Tantei Shinshi DASH. You guys may remember Able from a previous Dreamcast pickups video. They did Exodus Guilty. I believe it was Exodus Guilty Neos on the Dreamcast. And that was a very intriguing looking series. The one that I liked the looks of so much that I found out there's an English language localization of that. Hirameki's Anime Play DVD versions, and I sought those out, and I do own that series now. I haven't played it, but the intro to this, like there's an animated introduction, reminds me very much of the animated introduction to Exodus Guilty. Very like kind of high-paced, you know, good music and good animation. Production-wise, this reminds me very much of that series, and this seems to be sort of their very next thing that they worked on. Now, in terms of tone and style, this is completely different. It's a detective story. It's an adventure game. You can see here in sort of the traditional Japanese style. Going through a menu, you're choosing stuff like to investigate your environment, check out your investigation, you know, notebook. You can you know, move and you know, choose to interact with different objects in the environment and that kind of thing. So here we've chosen our personal computer, laptop, and basically when this starts off, you get a phone call from a woman, of course, and we're basically killing time. We're waiting for her to show up. So, you know, this reminds me a lot of the introduction for Eve Burst Error, if you guys have ever played that. I believe that Manga Gamer has a localization of that in English, if I'm not mistaken. Might be worth checking out if you're interested in this kind of game and you want to play something that's in English. You know, I'm kind of intimidated playing this sort of thing in Japanese, just because the Japanese tends to be aimed at a slightly more adult audience. But here the woman has shown up. I haven't gotten much farther than this, but this seems like an interesting adventure game. This one is called Angel Present. So I guess this cinches the pronunciation of this as Studio Ox. I've called them Studio OX before. I will stop doing that now, but I've talked about them in a review for the PCFX for the game Minimum Mnemonic. That's a game that I liked very much, and you know, I just enjoy the personality that Studio Ox brings to their character designs, and the story in Minimum Mnemonic, for instance, was just a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed it. So really, you know, looking forward to this game. It's also published by NEC Interchannel, so it really feels to me like a spiritual successor to the stuff that was coming out on the PCFX. We can see here that it starts off with the main character taking a trip back home. They're taking a train ride, and you know, they're meeting with their parents here. They're like, giving him a bunch of crap about, oh, hey, we haven't seen you for 2 years, and then you show up all of a sudden out of the blue, what's going on? You know, they're kind of worried. So you explain to them, I guess you've been working in Tokyo, and it sounds like your boss has taken a couple weeks off, so I guess, you know, people under them are have some time off too, so you came back here to, seems like maybe work on some projects, something like that. But this, you know, starts off very pedestrian. It seems like you're having a chance to, you know, bump into old friends that you knew from high school and things like that. This girl actually follows you from Tokyo. Your kohai. You're her senpai, so she's, you know, probably a newer hire or a younger person than you are. And you know, so there's that kind of stuff, but it seems like it gets into some supernatural things too before too long. And it just seems really intriguing. There's, I even saw some footage where there's almost an RPG-style boss battle to it. So this game just seems to have a ton of potential. I think I'm really going to enjoy this game. Next up is a Mobile Suit Gundam game. This is called Giren's Greed, Blood of Zeon, but on the side here it says Gion no Keifu, I believe, which is like lineage. So here we have a game that seems to come to us directly from Bandai, and you can see, I guess, from this opening here, it has some very beautiful animation to it. Honestly, I don't know enough about Gundam to know if this is animation that's culled from, you know, the main series somewhere, or if it was produced specifically for this game. But this seems to be a strategy game. I would call it strategy with a capital S. And, you know, I think aside from the animated cutscenes here, which are very nice and seem to be rather abundant, this is also giving you a chance to play out some what-if scenarios. So this seems to kind of cover you know, events early in the series, and really give you a chance to control the flow of you know, of battle. So you're going to choose the Zeon, or you're going to choose the Federation. And things can play out differently. They could go exactly like they go in the show, or, you know, you fight, one side wins a battle they didn't win before. What happens then? You know, what if some character that died in the series doesn't die in the same place? You know, how do they contribute to the story? So it seems like a very interesting premise. I think something that, you know, if you're a really big Gundam fan, you might just absolutely geek out over and really enjoy that opportunity. Now, I'm really not, so I don't see myself playing this game. Not to say that I don't like Gundam, because I do, and it's one of those things that I might actually catch up on. So who knows? Maybe I'll actually develop a healthier interest in this. But you know, it is confusing. I really didn't know what I was doing here, and thankfully, though, there are some facts on GameFAQs, so if you are interested in playing this, I think you have a real chance to do so. There's not just one fact, and I don't know that they're really complete, but it seems like there are some specialized guides and stuff like that, so if you think this looks interesting, you might want to give it a shot. Next is another one of these special editions, which I've had for a while and I keep forgetting to show off. This one is AngelWish. This has a really cool double disc set here with basically the game disc here, and then it has an extras disc with some extra stuff in it. It comes in this really nice plastic box, and it has some like artwork for the back. The person who had this was really nice and actually left the original plastic on it. They just have a slit here where you can take the discs out. Oops. This first one here is the extras, and these are pretty neat. In here you can see we've got a bunch of stuff. This is a CD. It's actually a drama CD with I think the ending theme song, and then some sound clips from the voices. Here we have a cell phone strap. It's kind of cheapy, but it's still pretty cute. This is a code to get the let's see, personal computer use desktop accessory. Download it from here and use this code. also in here, I believe this is a sticker. And you can see if you take the disc out that each of these actually has a nice reversible cover here. This one actually says Special Pack on the spine there. Finally, here's the game disc itself, and this is the regular packaging. I don't know if this is the packaging for the normal edition, if it came in a DVD case like this or a jewel case like they normally do, but here's the inside. You have a nice color manual here, and if we take that out and take the disc out, you can see the reversible cover for this one. There it is. So here we have the sort of a typical intro for a romantic adventure game here. This seems to be by Playongo. I've never really heard of them before, and I'm not sure about CrossNet, but they've definitely done a handful of games for the Dreamcast and the PlayStation 2, even stuff as recently as 2007. Nothing I've played yet. This is my first one of theirs. Now we can see here, she says, you know, everybody always leaves to go do stuff. And this girl is crying in what looks like kind of maybe a country sort of rural chapel. And you kind of establish this, again, kind of really typical tropey stuff so far. Kind of a childhood encounter. Reminds me again of Love Hina. I don't know if that's really the originator of this kind of thing, but you know, you make a promise to this girl where you're gonna come see her again, you know, and because she's lonely because everybody left her behind, and then here it turns out this was a dream of you remembering this. You know, earlier it showed that you'd forgotten to ask her name, so you were going to go back and do that, and then you wake up. So, you know, I don't know what this game is like. It seems really typical so far. It might be good, it might not. It's just really hard to tell from what we've seen of this. And finally, we have a shmup for the Dreamcast. This one is Karous. A very distinctive style on this one. It appears to be cel-shaded. And this game is developed by Milestone Incorporated. From what I read, it sounds like it was a company that was started by previous employees of Compile. And you guys may know probably better than I do. Compile has a long history of shmups. They developed, it seems like, stuff as far back as the MSX and the Famicom Disk System. I'm really not that familiar with their shmup history in particular, but Milestone here, developed this game and a handful of other shooters for, it seems like, the Naomi board and the Dreamcast, that were later actually ported to a Wii collection. If you guys are Wii owners, or even if you aren't, if you're interested in these games, I would certainly recommend getting them on the Dreamcast. But if you're looking for a cheaper option, they released the Ultimate Shooting Collection, which includes this game, Chaos Field, and Radargy, otherwise known as Radio Allergy. They all seem to have a similar style to this. At least Radargy and Karous here are very similar in style with this cel-shaded sort of look. But this one it's really interesting. The visual style is just sort of these muted grays and greens and blues. It kind of reminds me of the color palette of Xevious a little bit. And this is, you can see here, kind of strictly a bullet hell shooter. But I found it to be quite accessible. It doesn't feel overwhelming. It seems like you have some pretty useful moves, like this big brain thing that can just sort of absorb and maybe even shoot back some of the shots. Some of the shots can be shot down, and other ones have to be dodged. But the pace didn't seem overwhelming. I think that the speed is just perfect on this. So I really enjoyed this and really had a fun time checking it out. you know, again, I don't, I'm not like a huge shmup fan, but I'm getting into them more. And just having a shmup that's accessible and stylish and cool to play, I really liked this a lot better than a couple of the other shmups that were actually released in North America for the Dreamcast that I've checked out so far. This one seems like a pretty fun one. So anyway, that has been my Dreamcast pickups here. I hope that you enjoyed hearing about these. I'm definitely going to be doing more of these as time goes by, so I hope that you'll join me for those, and thank you very much for watching.